Welcome to Sister Talk TV show. I'm your host, DIETRA KELSEY. All right, we have a lively panel to discuss the recent Biden and Trump debate. Joining us are MAGA Republican and entrepreneur AKUA, I am the one. Democrat songstress and commentator, Miss Irene. Actress, owner of You Can magazine, Star Davis. And also we have the former political candidate, State Assembly, ALPHEAUS Marcus. Okay, sisters and brother, let's dive into the heart of the debate. Okay, this consensus from the commentators, the influencers, and everybody that's walking down the street, they felt that this debate was horrible. All eyes were on Biden. According to fact.org, if I'm not mistaken, that Trump also did a lot of lying. He was not correct in saying everything that he had done too. So let's go ahead and start with Biden, President Biden. So let's go to the first question is, should Biden be replaced?
Resoundingly, no. No, absolutely not. He had a bad night. That doesn't erase his record.
Well, they have intentions on replacing him anyway. They plan on doing the same thing.
Right?
They're going to try to probably put Michelle in there.
They plan on doing the same thing they did when Bernie Sanders had won the nomination. We're going with the super delegates. You know, Biden, literally, health-wise, he looks like he has dementia. You know,
and actually, it being the case are two different things. He had a bad night. You know, I say he had mannequin moments.
He got a bad life
had
right
mannequin
now.
moments. However, that does not erase his record. He's a better, you know, he's suited to lead for another 4 years, and that's it. He had a bad moment. I mean, it would be, you know, it's just like saying, you know, you had your own bad performance. You want someone to erase your record of good performance because you had a bad night. I mean, that's like immature level. That's a level of immaturity that we can't objectively look at something and say, hey, we all agree, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, we all agree that wasn't a good performance for either one. You know, for Democrats, no, Biden did not perform well. If you looked at his after party, he was very lively. He did not look like he had dementia. He had another, he was in North Carolina and did a campaign thing, and he was on it. So again, we cannot penalize the man for having a bad night. That's immature.
Let me ask you this.
This is the leader of the free world, though. He shouldn't have bad nights consistently.
Trump had a whole
every time he doesn't have a teleprompter or somebody
showed his ass
for
for 4
years.
years.
Go ahead, say what you were saying, Akua. We didn't get the last part.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the leader of the free world, he shouldn't have so many even bad nights.
But wait a
bad
minute,
days,
many bad
weeks,
nights.
Bad months.
Trump had 4 years of bad behavior.
Every time he fumbles the ball,
counts.
If I was a coach,
he's $355 million he has to pay to the state of New York. Let's list the laundry list of things that Trump has done over 4 years and his whole life. And we want to put him as the leader of the free world?
Yes.
Because Biden had one bad night. Really, I can't.
No,
I can't even.
Ladies,
it's intellectually dishonest.
Can I ask a question?
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Can I ask a question?
A bad night per night.
Well,
4 years, 365 days times 4 for Trump. Bad days, bad every day.
You see, we gotta take the emotion out of stuff.
Every day. No, not really. I'm stating facts.
Instead of being honest,
something that Trump cannot do. He can't state facts at all.
Okay.
He lies perpetually.
Oh my goodness.
Like where can you even trust what he says as the leader of the free world?
Me know
you can't
when
trust anything that he says.
And not
really, it's facts. He doesn't
girl,
know anything about facts.
I want to hear those facts.
Nothing.
Go ahead, start there.
Zero.
I'm about to bang my head on this damn table, y'all.
You're gonna need a gavel, please, because I really, I don't have time for it. None.
You do know that.
Absolutely zero.
All right.
I might not need to be on this panel. Really.
You do know that at least 98% of the politicians lie, right?
Okay, you know what? Had to stomach Fox News last night, and I watched Fox News getting ready to regurgitate my dinner. And one of the commentators said, you know what? I know, everybody lies. Trump is just a better liar. Really? Really?
I mean,
That's from Fox News. And he's damn right.
Okay,
He just lies better. And then you got a lot of gullible people that follow the nonsense and will vote him in the office. And you talk about, being disrespected on the world stage. Trump is king for that.
Yes,
Biden
is.
is knowing
Can somebody
Trump
else
should not.
talk
Yeah,
real quick?
okay. I'm
Can I ask you a question?
I'm gonna mute myself for a little while because this is ridiculous.
Can I ask you a question?
Let them talk. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? Just for factual purposes, right? Hillary Clinton won by 2.8 million more votes than Trump. How come she wasn't the president?
Because the Electoral College.
It's called the Electoral College.
Okay, so if it's not popular votes that dictates who's the president, and it's based off a whole different voting system, right? Then you can sit up here and say the people that voted for him, right, is why he got in office, but we know that's not true. We know that the delegates are the ones.
You cannot separate popular vote from the Electoral College. It is the people that vote that informs the Electoral College how to vote. So
because people can win the popular vote and not win the election. So
right, no Republican in recent history has won the
system of voting.
But I don't want to digress into a whole nother area.
Let me ask you all this. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let me ask you all this. Okay, I feel you, everybody, what they're saying right now. I know how you feel about the candidates, but let's try to be unbiased in this question right here. Do you feel that President Biden performed in terms of presenting his policies and vision for the future? Was he clear about his accomplishments and what he sees for the future?
I don't think neither candidate was clear on policies.
Neither one.
I agree with that. I agree.
Sorry, you also?
I think Biden could have done a better job being more detailed about what his plans are. But with Trump, I never heard him answer a single question that was asked of him during that debate.
Neither one of them word salads.
Wait, neither one of them spoke about policies. Neither one of them spoke about policies.
So here's a question. Let me interject and ask a question.
Please.
Go ahead.
With Trump, when he was asked about Palestine, when he was asked about any number of issues, never once did we get a straight answer from him. And even supporters that were asked, and I've spoken to a few supporters, and believe it or not, a couple Black supporters of Trump, I haven't heard a single thing from them as to what it is that he can really do, other than he freed Kodak Black and Lil Wayne. That he gave part.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You talking about you speaking about what would he do in regards to Palestine and what's going on?
No, that was a question that was asked of him at the debate that he could not answer.
But she asked about the policies.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk while you're talking.
But she asked about the policies. What did they speak about policies? Neither one of them said anything about policy. They all went personal. It was nothing about policies.
Well,
so we can't be biased and just speak about what he said about Palestine or South Korea or Ukraine. What policies did he speak about? You know what I'm saying? That you can sit up here and say, well, he didn't really clarify what it was he was, what he meant by what he planned on doing. There was no policy issue that was spoken about. It was a me, mine, I situation on the stage with both candidates.
Well, what did he try to do that stood out for everybody? What moment did he do to say that he stood out for anything that would make you just, raise your eyebrow, turn your head? Okay, that's correct.
So I know I've almost dominated the conversation. I do apologize for that. I do get passionate about politics, and I'm not
that's why you're here.
Well versed. I can't say that I know everything. I know some things, okay? And I feel strongly and passionately about those some things, right? So, I don't know. I didn't look to the debate to inform, I'm going off what a continuation of what he's already done, right? He has some good policies and some things that he's already done. So I'm looking for a continuation of that. Can I sit here and articulate, what his vision for the future is? No, I can't, clearly, right? So I have to go and do some homework. He did not have a good night, so I kind of got lost in the fact that he was not performing well. But I do know, based on Trump's track record as well, that he wasn't given much either. He was given a bunch of word salads as well. So the debate just really was a circus, in my opinion, right? So we got a chance to be entertained for 90 minutes,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
then we got to pull back from that and kind of really dissect everything and say, okay, what is the history showing us?
Okay.
What has Biden done? And again, what has Trump done? Trump has done some great things, right? So when he
What
did
has
the
Biden
tax
done?
cut, it's going to be, for
What
the
great
people
things.
like us, for the people like
No,
us, that
listen,
tax cut is going to be gone in 2025,
Because
right?
okay, listen,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Say that again.
Let me say this. This was a chance for President Biden to really talk about what he has done in the vision. People who are not voting are not political junkies like some of us are. So this was his chance. First impressions are everything. So this was his chance.
But it's not a first impression, right? He's had 4 years of being our president, not just.
But this is what I'm saying. People are not paying attention to that. Yeah,
Do you know about
People are not paying attention to his presidency. They're not going to get much from one debate. If you're going to tune out for 4 years and then lay it all on the line for one debate, it's not cool. I mean,
do you know the history
what is he going to say?
Joe Biden? Do you know the
Say
history
that
of Joe Biden? Do you know the history of Joe Biden?
What do you mean? Do I know the history of Joe Biden?
Okay, we're talking about right now. What do you mean?
His policies, some of the things he's been against, some of the things he's done, and to further his political career and his agendas. Do you understand? Like and I said this earlier, right? When he got elected in 2020, he sat with the black leaders on a Zoom call. It's on YouTube because one of them leaked it, right? And he told them he's not doing anything for the black community.
Sir, I disagree with that. I saw him on television say, and I wanted to see how he was going to back this up. He said, the African American community has had my back and I'll have yours. Now, Joe Biden has said that on TV. I specifically am waiting to see what exactly he's going to do.
So look, this is what I do.
But I never ever heard anything that he said he wasn't going to do anything for the black community.
This is what I'll do, right? This is what I'll do, right?
What do you do?
I will forward the link where he was on a conference call with all the black leaders right after I think it was December 6th, after they certified the electoral votes before it went to Washington. And he told them he's not doing anything.
And that's confirmed, not AI.
I can't.
Wait a minute, hold on. That's been Joe Biden his whole career. He's always been a segregist. One of the things that we get caught up in.
So you think Obama is ignorant to Biden's ways, and Obama just somehow pulled his name from a hat and decided to have him as his running mate and kept him in place for 8 years, right? He was our vice president. So telling me?
Wait a minute. You really believe that just because you're selected to be the president nominee that you have a say in what goes on? Like you got to remember.
I'm sure Obama.
Wait a minute, hold on. What you got to remember is this here, right?
Respected. Mm-hmm.
What you got to do is remember this here, right? The president is the CEO of the corporation. Right? The corporation has board members, which would be your delegates. Your delegates control a lot because they do business with businesses. They do worldwide business. This is one of the reasons why we don't see the things we're supposed to see because we focus on all the wrong things. Our fight as a black community, and some of the things you said earlier in regards to you benefited from Obamacare, right? That's a congressional health care, right? And that was done because there's money in insurance. Right? Insurance is a financial institution. One of the things that a lot of insurance companies was doing was they was conflating the numbers. So the government stepped in because a lot of constituents was concerned about the way that insurance was literally killing people's pockets. That's why the government stepped in it. And one of the
And you
incentives,
cannot tell me. So why are they trying to reverse it? So I don't get it seems to be a double standard in how we perceive information and what you want us to believe or push forward. Okay, so I'm hearing Biden was never for the Black people. When he was vice president, he was respected enough to be Barack Obama's running mate, and they won. That ticket won twice. Okay, so you're telling me that we should ignore the fact that a successful president, right, chose his running mate as Joe Biden, and that we should ignore that record, right? So, I'm not understanding. And then you're telling us that the Republicans want so badly, and Trump wanted so badly to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, right? And so now we're to believe that, that was something that Congress really wanted us to have. I mean, I'm confused. I really am.
Congress wanted the Affordable Care Act because
there's
majority
many of them that don't want us to have
Wait,
that,
whoa,
and it
whoa,
was
whoa,
fought for under the.
So let's start with former President Trump. Like I said before, do you all think he's going to win? I mean,
No, I don't think so.
God forbid. You know what? Don't underestimate him, because I remember in 2016, I never thought there was a chance in this universe that he would be elected. And he was. And I think the Democrats are making a very bad mistake in underestimating him again. Okay.
Right. I didn't think he would get this far, right? To be the Republican nominee.
We sit back, we kind of, have this set of standards that we follow, but we don't have the outrage that the Republican Party has. They, I remember, and we're going to go far back, but this just to show their ridiculousness. I remember when they were ready to crucify Barack Obama for wearing a tan suit, okay? But Trump gets convicted of rape, right? He gets convicted of 34 counts of trying to pay a porn star, who, by the way, was the only qualified person that he ever hired to do a job, all right? And all of a sudden, oh, but people make mistakes. Oh, but she's this. Oh, but she said, there's all sorts of excuses being made by the Republican Party as to why Trump is suitable. But yet Democrats who actually have cases of and accomplishments on which we can stand, we're just kind of lackadaisical about the whole thing,
But why do you all think he may win? I mean, how was his?
Because his base is like a bunch of ravenous dogs. That's why.
Well, why do you think how he addressed the economy and immigration, particularly immigration?
Well, he harped on that because he knows it's a passionate subject on both sides. Democrats have an issue with the border being open. Republicans, they go on and on about the border being open. Nobody wants the border to be open, but what neither one of them really talked about in the debate, which upset me, was that there was a bipartisan agreement. And Biden touched on this a little bit, but yes, he was slow. He wasn't as energetic. He touched on the fact that there was bipartisan support for border a solution to put more border agents. I don't know the whole details of what this would have entailed. However, here comes Trump, simply for his own satisfaction, for his own ego, telling Republicans do not side with Biden so that they could turn around and use this against him. Now, how he can be taken seriously after that, because he's clearly shown he doesn't have the U.S.'s interests in mind. He has his own personal interest.
So why do you all think why do you all think there are people that support? Why are they supporting Trump? If he's coming out with lies, he did not do. Like he said that the economy was much better under his leadership. Why are people supporting him? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because
I think it's a number of things.
33-year-old nephew, okay, Black man, 33-year-old nephew who says he's supporting Trump because Trump is good for the Black community. So I said, whoa, okay, I want to hear, what does this kid have to say, right? Because it's been a long time since I've been 33. So obviously there's some generational stuff going on there. And as I mentioned earlier, his response was because of Lil Wayne and Kodak Black.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
So let me just finish the point. So now if Lil Wayne and Kodak Black and pardoning them, okay, if that somehow has helped us get better jobs and put food on our tables and get our kids into better schools, I fail to see how.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Right. When he had the educational person in, he had the person in it for education, the girl Betsy something.
Betsy DeVos, yes.
And they wanted to do vouchers. They wanted to do vouchers, right?
Disaster.
Everybody, why would it be a disaster?
Because it wasn't dependent on income. So you could have these really rich families.
Income.
Right. These vouchers were given to private schools. So there was no income cap.
Wait a minute.
There was no income. Wait a minute. Let me finish what I'm saying, please. There was no cap on income to get these vouchers, right? Rich families were able to participate in this voucher program. So how that benefited us?
Oh, you got rich families that send their kids to public schools, right? And you have under law, right? Under law, taxpayers' money paid for private schools, school choices. So what you don't understand is that with the voucher system now comes into play with all children are equally funded, as opposed to Black children being underfunded for schools. You understand? Have you ever looked at that?
You know something?
The disparity in funding when it comes down to Black kids and white kids.
Okay, let's stick with the question about why are people voting for Trump, since he lied during the first, during the second. And I'm not just hopping on Trump, also Biden. I feel like his his behavior would be probably the same the second debate or the third debate. Why are these people, especially the Black community, are voting for Trump? I feel.
I think people are just tired of the way politics is going, and they want to inject their agendas in both parties. That's what I look at.
So
people are tired of being shafted by one party. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to go for another party.
So that to me, if I can just ride on that, I just want to, let's have a conversation, and I don't want to override what you're talking about, DIETRA, but when we're talking about support, jumping from one party, we're a two-party system, right? So, there's a third ticket, whatever, party ticket, but a lot of people are just jumping from one party to the other party. That to me doesn't mean that you're intellectually invested in making a better choice. It's just, you're hopping from one bus to another bus, right? So, this support of Trump now, because you're bored with the Democrat Party and because you're calling it the plantation that we've always been on, right? And so you just want to jump from there to say that you're doing something different to jump to the Republican ticket or the party. It doesn't make sense to me. Intellectual sense, it doesn't make. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
no, I don't.
Give me some sound reasons, right? I mean, if they align with your principles, right? And that's why I proudly proclaim that I'm a Democrat and I have no intention on going over to the Republican Party because they don't align with my morals and my vision for all people, right? Like I cannot for the life of me align myself with people who do rallies talking about Jews will not replace us. I will not align myself with people who believe that African countries are shithole countries. I will not align myself to people who, won't give or feel that a woman's rights are there. You can tell me what to do with my body. I mean, I'm way past childbearing years, but I will fight for the woman who wants to stand up and make a choice for her and her family and for her mental and physical health. I will not align myself to people like that just because I'm bored with the Democratic Party. Are you serious?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? What's the difference between the covert racists and the overt racists?
You answered it. If you know the definition of overt and covert, you've answered
What's the difference? What's the difference?
It's obvious, right? People who are outspoken, right? Okay, so are you saying that Democrats are covert racists?
Of course they are.
Is that what you're saying?
Of course they are.
Okay.
Some
all
are,
right. Well,
and some are not.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Some are not.
I'd rather, listen, I'm not going to say that I support any of that, right? I have the book White Fragility on my table, and there are difficult discussions to have with white people about racism and them being able to identify it. But there are people in the Democratic Party that will acknowledge that they have biases. We all do. But if you're going to be in my space, right, and you think I'm going to allow, it's like me going to
whoa.
Hold on. It's like me going to a rally, a KKK rally, and saying, "Oh, you know what? Those people over there, I can't. I don't understand. I'm feeling that there's some racial tensions over there in this other building. But I'm gonna come over here, and I see you got your sheets on, but I'm gonna align myself with you and your sheets because I know where you stand." I mean, how does that make any sense?
You do it all the time.
Really?
You do it all the time. What are you talking about?
So you think I'm going to
Do
put
it
my
all the
life in
time.
danger and go into a KKK rally because you are an overt racist?
Let me ask you a question. Do you know?
That doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, do you know the two things that would make blacks included, socially included in society?
Say that again.
Do you know the two main things that make blacks inclusive in this here Anglo-Saxon society?
Tell us.
Education and equal access to financial institutions.
Okay, and expound.
Those are the two things.
Expound on that, though.
I don't get it. So what are you saying?
So what are you saying, that the Democrats are not offering that?
Not at all, because you have systemic segregated schools that go on. You have systemic discrimination within financial institutions that they know to take place and do nothing about.
So you think Republicans can do a better
They're
job?
gonna remedy that? Right.
Exactly.
You think Republicans when they're trying to roll back everything that we've gained over the last 50, 60 years with regard to education, and you know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute,
you think the Republicans are going to help? They're the ones instituting it now to roll it back.
We have to take a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back. You're watching.
Where MAGA girl go?
Becky, she's having technical difficulties. Don't underestimate her.
Come on back then. Join in.
I've seen her before. I've seen her before, and I've spoken with her before.
But Alpheus can hold it down. We're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back. Hello, we're back. Yes, we are. We just finished a segment of the debate between Trump and Biden. And let me tell you something, it was very, very heavy. But we have lightened up, as they say, and we have moved down south, and we're going to talk about something else. But here with us back is Miss Irene Renee, ALPHEAUS Marcus, Star Davis, AKUA. I am the one. She was having technical difficulties, so she said she apologized, but she will be back on the show. She's the MAGA woman. I am the one. But anyway, Louisiana has just passed a law that the 10 Commandments by Moses from the Bible has to be displayed in state-funded educational institutions, elementary schools, high schools, universities, what have you. Star Davis, what do you think about that?
Okay, first, I think it's terrible because, as Miss Irene said a couple of minutes ago, there goes the separation between church and state. Secondly, I think it's a joke because Trump has blown each one of those 10 commandments straight to hell. So the fact that they are now trying to make this so morally, that morals and morality is so important, it's hypocritical and it's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I want to make one point of clarification. So it's Oklahoma. Oklahoma passed this. It says Oklahoma.
I thought it was Louisiana. I have Louisiana here.
So I'm looking at the article.
I think it's Oklahoma
will require schools to teach the Bible and have a copy in every classroom. The state's top education official announced on Thursday. So Oklahoma. Yeah.
I think what do you have to say? Because Marcus has to leave. I mean, it just went over. That viewers had just joined in. It spilled over. The tea spilled over. ALPHEAUS, what do you have to say before you leave?
Well, you got to remember something. Up until maybe the 80s, right? You had pledge allegiance to the flag. Everything in the context of religion within the school system, right? When you look at the myth of separation of church and state it is what it is. It's just a myth. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the percentage of Christianity here in America itself, and not just America, around the world, it's 73%. It has a strong influence. You can never separate church and state, regardless of the slang that they want to use, that it's a separation. It can't be separated. It's two wings belong to the same bird. When you look at, you can shake your head as much as you want.
Yeah, I agree with that, because the legislation was written.
Whoa.
Don't spill tea.
When you get elected into office, what do you do?
I understand you.
What do you do?
You swear to.
You're sworn in office, right?
Yes.
So you can't say that churches and politics are separated if you got to swear on a religious book to be sworn in office. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in
I hear that, but I don't think that
of it. The reality of it is something different.
I hear that, but taking an oath should not be equivalent to everyday teachings in people's lives. Taking an oath of office, right? Because you have to take an oath of office to serve this, to lead this country, rather. I don't see what that has to do with hanging the 10 commandments in schools and then totally disregarding anybody else who may have a different faith. I don't see how the two of them are equal. How you use that as an example.
If you use the Bible for one component, right? You use it for all components. You can pick and choose which one you use it for, right? But it's still used within politics. Okay. That's just a reality.
So people have a moral ground or a moral compass that they operate from,
but can I ask a question though? Can I ask one question, Ms. Irene, based on what Mr. Marcus just said? So when Rashida Tlaib was elected as a congresswoman, right?
Yeah.
I don't think she swore her oath on a Bible.
She swore oath on the Quran.
Was it the Quran? Right.
Now,
okay, so then, but that shows that there are different faiths in this country, so we can't just.
Hold on a second. Because I get this all the time. When you look at the Quran, right? The same people that's in the Bible is in the Quran. Same people.
Right, so just like the 10 Commandments is actually from the Old Testament, so that would lead more toward Judaism.
But they still recognize all the people that's in the Bible. They recognize in the Quran.
Except Jesus.
Can I say this? I think we're getting in the weeds a little bit.
Right.
I think we're getting in the weeds just a little bit.
Right? But that still does not mean that we should use these people that are in the Bible, in the Torah, in the Quran as ways to rule this government. Right. Even if they believe these three books, even if they contain some of the same leaders about, who were written, that should not be pushed on people as a way of governing. This is not a theocracy. This is a democracy.
Right. Wait a minute. You do know that the laws itself is based off religious laws, right? The laws that we go by every day.
What do you mean? You're talking about the Constitution?
The Constitution, the laws itself is based off religious doctrination.
Principles, religious principles.
That's what it's about.
However, the United States was formed so that people would not experience religious persecution, right? They came over here so that they would be free of being persecuted. So then to imply that we need to then start that again, there's an evolution of how we are as human beings, and we learn from our past experiences, right? So then you don't go and say, okay, well, we're going to start teaching the Bible when there are other people who are in public schools of different religious persuasions. So you mean to tell me you're going to force feed them the 10 Commandments? And tell them that you have to have a Bible in every classroom? That's ridiculous.
Look.
Back. Okay, no, I'm sorry. No. This is for another Republicans some sense and some morality. Maybe we do need the Bible in the classroom. Maybe so they can stop being so racist. Okay.
Oh, please. No, they'll just twist it around
right?
As they have been doing.
Tell them Rich Charles again. The last word.
I gotta go. Yeah.
You gotta go. Go ahead.
When you look at everything, once again, right? Like I said, you got the covert and you got the overt, right? Whether we want to look at it that way or whether we want to justify that we picked the lesser of two evils by dealing with the overt, right? Or the covert, it's still the same. Racism is racism. Whether you pat me on my back and smile in my face, or you be in my face and you be directly with it, it's still the same thing.
Not the
And
same.
that's something.
I won't
Okay.
give it. It's not the same.
All right.
Can I just say this before you leave? Between the overt and the covert, I will take the covert that gave us Ketanji Brown Jackson. Okay.
Right.
I will take the covert that gave us insulin being capped. I will take the covert that gave us an infrastructure bill and that gives us unions, whether you think Blacks really benefit from it or not. My father was a member of a union, you know, so I will take that covert any day over that tries to see me like I'm stupid.
Right, standing over there being silly, standing next to
Okay,
Martin with a cake on it.
Okay.
Can I say this one last thing before I go?
It's your
You
turn.
do know, you do know that the union were Republicans, right?
Well, yeah, I also know the abolitionists were Republicans.
Let that sit there.
Okay,
the Union and the Confederates.
And then you can go back and start talking about how back during the Reconstruction and the slaves, it was the Republican Party. So we're gonna go back and start that.
Go.
No.
Okay, all right, Alpheus.
No, we're not doing it. Bye, Alpheus.
We have another brother
enjoy that.
Okay.
All
We have
right.
another brother with the show next. Okay, because I know. All right, we'll talk to you. Thank you for coming, and we will always welcome you back. It's Alpheus Marcus. Thank you. Sister, all right. I want to tell you the correction when you are correcting me. I'm looking at MSNBC website, and it says on June 19th, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry signed House Bill 71 into law. Beginning next year, the new law will require all elementary and secondary schools and universities that receive state funding to display the 10 Commandments.
Okay, so we're talking about two things true at the same time. So you're right, and then there's this Oklahoma thingy going on. Okay.
You know, people are complaining about how they took religion out of school, and now because of that is habit. You know, people are disrespecting the kids, are disrespecting the teachers. You have the
you know what? It would be okay to put religion. Sorry, teacher. Sorry. I'm thinking it's fine to put religion in school if you have all religions in school and if you have them as electives that people can choose.
Right.
But if you have just faith and then insist that everybody abide by that faith, that's not right, because there are this country is a melting pot, and there are people who come here from all over the world who have all different kinds of faith. So hey, put up the 10 Commandments. That pertains to Christianity and Judaism. But what about the Igbo culture from Nigeria? What about the Taoism culture from Asia? What about the Native American culture? That excludes everybody who is not either Christian or Jewish. So that's the problem. You offer it to people who want to take it, and then offer everything so that there's a different selection that people can choose. That's the problem that I have with it.
Okay, we have AKUA back. We have AKUA back. AKUA, we're talking about the 10 Commandments that the governors has signed into law in Louisiana, Oklahoma, displaying the 10 Commandments in every classroom that are state funded, institutions that are state funded, educational institutions that are state funded. What do you think about that, AKUA? And you're on mute too. You're on mute, AKUA.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm totally okay with it. As you know, I'm a conservative. I was raised in the South. Ghana is my background, and I've been a New Yorker for the past 20-something years. So I have like a mixture of all. But the truth of the matter is our founders based this country on Christian values. You understand? So I'm totally okay with it.
Not religious doctrine.
Hold up, let me just
religious
finish.
doctrine.
Let me finish. So when we did have prayer and things in school, notice there was a lot less violence. Kids were more respectable and things of that nature. So a lot of things that we're facing right now is because we took prayer and faith outside of the school system. Nowadays, teachers are afraid of their lives because kids are bringing weapons to school. Kids have no respect for their elders, things of that nature. And I think a lot of it is because we took it out of the school system, because that's when it declines.
So how about we get some laws in place to minimize weapons of, that army weapons or war weapons that people have access to, right? So we have
Semi-automatic
failed
weapons,
to do
yeah.
that, right?
Or
So,
how
and you're
about-
talking about kids coming to school with guns. How will we get better laws in place to restrict that? But, you know, Republicans don't want to do that because of the
Totally okay. That's
NRA,
why I took my-
you know, the
that's-
Second Amendment
that's
rights,
why
you know, you can't stop me from owning a gun. But that contributes
my
to
son
people having access to lethal
out of public
weapons.
school.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to keep our weapons to defend ourselves. No, we do definitely need to defend ourselves, or the government
And,
can
and
easily
kids,
just
kids are
overtake us
kids
and
having
put us all
access
under
to
their control.
guns, or
To
young
the-
people having access to guns to go in and shoot up little kids like Sandy Hook, and we
AKUA, can I
still
ask you a
fail
question?
to.
I'm just curious, why is it so important to maintain
Most definitely.
the right to own guns, right? But when you want to
Oh,
let
it's,
families get food stamps or health care, that's a bad thing to do. I
no.
don't understand.
Oh, okay. I will.
Yeah, you're breaking up, Akua. Yeah, you're breaking up. Yeah. Well, I'd love to hear what you're saying, but you're freezing and breaking up. Well, you know, I will say this, Star Davis and Miss Irene and Akua. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate for a second, so bear with me, Miss Irene. People are saying that once we put the religion back into the school, we don't necessarily have to worry about people coming to schools and going people being.
Say that again.
Once we put, people are saying,
Okay.
people are saying once we put religion back into schools, we don't have to worry about people coming in and blowing up the church or killing people, disrespecting teaching the foundation of religion, right or wrong.
Can I jump in, please?
Let me finish the planet in their system. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Can I please? Okay, so was religion in school, being taught in school when they blew up the Birmingham church with those little girls in it? Was religion taught in schools when we were denied our rights, our voting rights as Black people in this country? Was religion taught in schools then? Because miss me with that now. You know what I'm saying? You know, as all of a sudden, you know, these people were Christians who deny people, who are racist today and will tout the Bible and recite scripture, right? Christians who are racist today and will deny you your very right to just exist on this planet Earth. Please.
I will say this too,
Please.
going with the Republican nominee, right? Who is a Christian, but who slept
Holding
with
the Bible upside down.
right? Holding the Bible upside down, okay? Who slept with the porn star and the Playboy bunny right after his wife had a baby, all right? Who has denied opportunities to
Lies.
No, baby doll. No lies.
Okay.
All facts. All facts.
Because he said
all
it was
facts.
Okay.
No one's in denial over here.
Let's talk about policies. I want to keep it on policies.
No, we were talking about morality. We were talking about morality and the 10 Commandments being taught in schools.
No, what did Christ say? He who have no sin cast the first stone.
Okay,
Period.
but we don't
know
the people with felonies in the
there.
highest office of the land.
Miss Irene, I really need.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put myself on mute because this is ridiculous.
Go ahead, Akua. Go ahead. You're on mute.
Okay. Do you want me to answer the question that you asked me earlier about the guns and stuff? Or do you want me to talk about this? Well, here's the thing.
10 Commandments, yeah.
Yeah, we need to be able to protect ourselves both against domestic and foreign enemies, because the truth of the matter is sometimes government can overstep, and then start dictating and controlling us. If we don't have a way to be able to defend ourselves, then we are hopeless, helpless, and God help us. You understand? So we need to be able to defend ourselves.
Overreaching on everything.
Hold up. Let me finish, because as you see, my network not good. So let me at least get some points out. So if we're not able to defend ourselves and we have to depend on the government, when the government chooses not to like people that look like me and you, who's going to be there to defend us? Do you understand? So I will take a chance on myself to defend myself, both foreign and domestic enemies. You understand? And if you think about it, places where you can get guns have less crime than places where they make it so hard for you to get guns. Guess why? Because criminals will always find a way to get those guns. But law-abiding citizens that carry guns, okay, if we know we're in a place where people can carry guns, guess what? You're going to think twice before you pull that thing out, because you know you better be ready to use it because somebody else may have one. But if you're in a state or a city that you know they're not allowed to have guns, guess what? Crime going to run rampant from the criminals, because they know the normal people cannot, that are unarmed, and they cannot defend themselves. Back to the faith.
I can dispute that.
System.
So when a black woman uses a gun to send off a shot to say, hey, stop, the laws went against her, and she went and spent time in jail because she had a gun just to simply shoot it in the air in her own house to tell the person that was threatening her life to back off. The laws didn't work in her favor. Okay, so no one's saying that no one can own a gun, but you got to be careful talking about the laws protecting you. Sometimes when it comes to the black persuasion, we are not protected by some of these laws. You know what I'm saying? And you want to stand up and say, oh, you know, we need to still have our Second Amendment. No one's taking that. No one's taking your right to have a gun, but you need to be careful about what you're talking about as far as laws protecting you, because they don't always protect people that look like you and I.
They absolutely do not protect people that.
But the Democrats keep trying to grab our guns.
It ain't got nothing to do with no Democrats. It was Florida. It was Florida, a stand your ground state, that had a black woman up in jail because she fired off a warning shot to protect her life. It was the Republican state.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the details behind that story.
You gotta read.
But being
also
that they are defend your ground state, I'm sure it had to be some other elements to that story.
The other thing, AKUA, is that if you look at the statistics between red states and blue states where guns are allowed to be carried, the crime rate and the death rate from guns is much higher in those states than in blue states. So your argument that being able to carry a gun makes us a more safe community is not true. If you look at
I don't know whose statistics you're looking at. Obviously, I'm in the car, but I've also studied the statistics behind it too. And people are less likely to shoot their gun if they know that somebody else may have one too, just as powerful as them. Versus in a city,
Trayvon Martin.
So you walk around basically with warfare.
What about Trayvon Martin? What about Tamir Rice?
Right.
Looked like he had a play gun and the police shot him down. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about these countries that don't they have stricter gun laws in Australia?
And nobody's getting the car.
Into emotions, you understand? At the end of the day, if you don't want your gun,
we're gonna have to mute you.
I'm not here to play emotion politics. You understand? At the end of the day,
you gotta deal with that. You got to deal with
protect my right to be able to protect myself.
Nobody's taking your rights away. Nobody in the history of America has taken your right away to bear arms. Nobody.
But I want to ask you this. This is why. Like I told you before, that I have a couple of family members that are a Trump supporter, and I've talked to them about that. I can't see it. I don't understand. So, but tell us why you will vote for, why you are a Trump
supporter. So let me just give you a little background about me. Like I said, I'm a Ghanaian. I was raised in the South. I lived half my life though here, also in New York. I grew up in the church. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mother. I'm an investor. I'm a hustler. The truth of the matter is, all my family are Democrat, except for my great grandmother, God rest her soul, who was the pastor of our church for so many years. She lived to 102, and my great uncle, who now took over the church. We're the only three that were conservatives in the whole family, and I wasn't even a Republican until Trump came to the picture. I voted for Obama twice. I believe I had all that emotion and hope. Oh, the first Black man, but we in there. We finally did it. You know, me and my best friend, the only ones who even graduated from high school from my neighborhood. You know, so I came up with not having really anything. Thank God I inherited intelligence. You know, so I graduated school with an over 4.0 GPA. I left college after 2 years because for me, I realized that college set me up to go work for someone else, and I knew I wanted to be my own boss. So just to give you a little background history about myself, I grew up with nothing, you understand? And I've come by the grace of God to become a businesswoman, as a single mother, even 3 different businesses, international investor, everything. So when I look at the welfare system, and you know, I'm a very open, honest person. I see how my mom had to use it growing up, being separated from my dad. I see that the welfare system, when I start being really honest with myself, set people up to stay in that perpetual cycle, you know? Then I looked at the few people that were in my family that, you know, very, very few that had some little bit of success, you know? And I started coming up with my own ideas. Like, most people couldn't even tell me in my family why they voted Democrat, but I didn't see the Democrats doing anything for us. Then I see Obama getting there. When I had to be honest with myself, I'm like, Black folks' position didn't get any better. But guess what? During Trump era, I saw my business grow. For the first time, I made 7 figures, you know, if I can just really be honest. When I saw the gas prices low, I saw that, you know, he wanted to do bring parent choice in, you know, when I saw that he gave so much money to the HSBCUs, when I saw that, you know, we had peace, you know, here, when I saw the unemployment rate, which I know because I'm a business owner, so I have to hire people, fire them, whatever. I saw how it was under the Trump era. He had opportunity zones where you can invest into, you know, lower socioeconomic areas and build basically the hoods up. You know, I'm about that. I'm not one of these, what people try to say, Uncle Tom to you know, Black folks that vote Republican or whatever. If it was any other Republican, I'd probably be looking at them sideways, because the truth of the matter is I've learned that they are both 2 sides of the same coin. But I saw Trump, somebody who was already a billionaire, because most of these politicians are not even millionaires before they even step into that seat, who was already a billionaire. Everybody loved him beforehand. Then when he came there, now all of a sudden he's public enemy number 1. Now he's the most racist person, the most unworthy, most not truthful person there is, or whatever. So I'm like, Everybody even put him in his rap songs and all of that beforehand. I was like, he's a businessman, and call it pride, but we can agree that Trump likes to win, period. And if he wants America to win, guess what? I'm for him. I call myself AK the Great. I'm not great on my own, by the grace of God.
Tell that to our ancestors.
Yeah, listen, I don't gotta ask my ancestors. I see it for myself.
I said our ancestors.
Yeah, but I don't know who.
They worked very hard and were not rewarded for it. Do you believe in reparations?
Listen, regardless of what happened back then, I'm living the present. You understand? Everybody got their problems. Everybody got their struggles. At the end of the day, I came from nothing, and now I am where I only dreamed to be, and the sky is the limit. So I don't blame it on nobody else. I'm not a victim. I'm a victor. I have that personality. I have that attitude, not just because of a Republican or conservative in the White House. No, because my faith is in Christ at the end of the day. So my Christian background dictates how I see the world. You understand? So regardless who's president, I'm winning. You understand? Now I might have to tighten the belt a little bit under some certain people, but guess what? I'm winning because the wisdom of God flows in me regardless of who's in that office. But there's particular people being in that office will more so cater to my personality, my political views, my stance. You understand? I don't want my son going to school learning that 2 men can be together, 2 women can be together. No, because that goes against what I'm teaching him at home. I don't want my son coming home telling me now he want to be a girl. We got enough women in this world.
Saying this. Think individually, but collectively as well, because we all need to win. If you're only thinking about your pocket, you're, you know, hey, you can win for the moment.
My pocket is symbolic of other people's pockets. Really, everybody.
What I want to say is that we all lose. Okay.
Sorry, Dave, it's 30 seconds or less. I'll let you go a little bit longer, Ms. Irene.
Well, I think if we're talking about morality, and if we're talking about family, and if we're talking about people behaving in moral ways, right? The best way to do that is to make sure that there is a stable home. And the best way to have a stable home is to make it so that people can work, right? To make it so, you know why there's low marriage in this country today? Because there are not really that many jobs out there. Get there more jobs. Get it so that people can go to school, that people can feed their families, that people don't have to worry about where their money is coming from. And I think you will find that there is less crime in areas where people are financially secure. Concentrate on making the population financially secure instead of funneling everything up to the 1%. And I believe crime will drop significantly as a result of that. As far as AKUA saying, I heard you refer to Ghana as home, right? So if that's home, then you have no connection with the Black folks that built this country.
Hey, what a wonderful, wonderful show. What an emotional and lively show. It was a wonderful day in Harlem, New York. Wonderful day in the neighborhood. Anyway, I want to give my shout out to AKUA. I am the one for being brave enough to come on Sister Talk TV show to say that why she support Trump where the majority of us don't. I still respect her as a woman, but this is what we're here. This is what we're here to do. Different hues, different voices. This is what Sister Talk is all about. Star Davis, thank you once again for coming through. You know you're always welcome. And Miss Irene Renee, my God, you a Gemini? What was that coming out?
Aries.
I never seen that part of you, but had me scared to say.
I got my fan out.
Yeah.
It's a hot one up in here today.
Stay quiet.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta say this. I had to channel Eric Mays, but he interrupted me. But anyway, thank you so much. Hey, this is DIETRA KELSEY, and you just finished watching Sister Talk TV show. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, and remember to stay in light.
Sister Talk, Sister Talk, Sister Talk. Something on your mind anytime. I'm here to listen. Sister Talk. When you need someone who understands, I know what you're missing. Sister Talk. No matter what you're going through, don't worry, I ain't going nowhere. Sister Talk. If you ever feel alone, say the word, I'll be right there. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Something on your mind anytime. I'm here to listen. Sister Talk. When you need someone who understands, I know what you're missing. Sister Talk. No matter what you're going through, don't worry, I ain't going nowhere. Sister Talk. If you ever feel alone, say the word, I'll be right there. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Sister Talk. Sister Talk.